Not really sure where to put this.
Is under your tongue just fall? There you
And do I just... You know what? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Is it on? Yeah, okay. Francis Bacon, an English Renaissance man, best known for his work with the scientific method, once said, "Knowledge is power." What does the phrase, "knowledge is power," mean? It is quite simple. The more information one obtains will result in a multitude of paths that may lead to success. However, that principle does not affect this generation due to the lack of overall misguided information, which allows for a person or group of people to come in, plant ideas in young minds, which result in manipulation through power. And I'm going to give you two examples of this through politics and medicine. So far, 2016 has been a crazy ride for the presidential candidates. But let's talk about two in particular, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. So a recent poll has showed that Bernie Sanders is currently beating Clinton in Ohio and in New Hampshire, mainly due to his young voters. If elected, Bernie Sanders promises free college and free healthcare. So of course, this is going to appeal to young people, which go back to the whole idea of knowledge is power. If a person promises you something that sounds really exciting or really cool, of course, you're going to blindly follow this person into whatever they say. This is exactly why Bernie Sanders has power in this situation. Bernie Sanders knows that if he promises free college and free healthcare, he's going to rally up these young votes because he knows the voters lack the knowledge and understanding of how exactly he's going to make all these promises come true. So the whole point is, if these young voters took the time to actually research and understand financially how these promises would affect their everyday lives, they would think twice about voting for him. However, on the flip side, we have Donald Trump. Donald Trump, like Bernie Sanders, is using the exact same technique. Donald Trump keeps promising to make America great again and make America great again and again. And he keeps repeating this mantra. So all these young voters, they get so excited and rallied up. They're just like, yeah, I want to change America. But ladies and gentlemen, how exactly is he going to make America great again? This is why Donald Trump has power, unlike these young voters. These young voters get so excited and wrapped up in just the words, they really don't understand how Donald Trump's policies will affect their lives. Are their lives going to be better? Are they going to be worse? How is their economic situation going to be if he's elected president? The whole point is that if you don't understand something and don't have the knowledge or information, then it's easy for people to come in, misguide you, and lead you falsely into their ideas. Now with the medical side, there's a huge problem with these young professionals coming in and preaching a policy or preaching a belief, and of course these young people are going to automatically believe them because they're doctors, they have a specific title, so why not trust them? But I'm going to give you a specific example. Let's talk about a person who has a cold. So this person has a cold. What's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to go to the doctors. They're going to pay about $45+ to go visit the doctor, only for the doctor to tell them they have a cold and to take X, Y, and Z. Does anyone see the problem in this situation? The whole point is now the doctor has control over this person's life. It's important to understand that perhaps the person who has the cold is at fault for having the cold. Poor hygiene, lack of sleep, lack of nutrition, all can lead to increased chances of having a sickness. This person does not Most people just don't think about that at all. They would rather waste their money and let a professional tell them how to live their lives. And if this pattern continues and continues, eventually are these doctors that will be able to tell people how to run their lives, what specific medicines to take, what drugs to use, X, Y, and Z, which erases the capability of free thinking and free power. You know what I don't see nowadays anymore? I don't see people having a passion or desire to learn. And I'm talking about researching a subject on your own. I'm talking about reading old classical novels because it's really interesting, and you don't see people having intellectual conversations with peers anymore. That really doesn't happen. Instead, for example, we have our iPhones. Most everyone in this room has an iPhone. While our iPhones can become great resourceful tools, instead they have become our biggest waste of time, honestly. People get so wrapped up in Candy Crush and what's going on social media that, of course, it's politicians and doctors can easily come in, tell them A, B, and C, plant seeds in their minds, and people are so quick to jump the gun and automatically believe them, erasing the capability to think for themselves or the capability to actually analyze the situation. If our generation continues to push aside knowledge or the will to actually learn and think for themselves, inevitably, people's capabilities to analytically think for themselves will no longer become a choice. Thus, it is these people of higher power and higher titles that will come in and start running our lives for us.